Hi, and welcome to Focal Point AFR Talk, the second hour of this Wednesday edition of Focal Point on the American Family Radio Talk Network. The program is Focal Point, the home of muscular Christianity on conservative talk radio. It's interesting with all this NSA scandal. President Obama's approval ratings have really taken a hit, and President Bush is making a pretty significant comeback. A Gallup poll released some findings yesterday that for the first time since April of 2005, Americans view former President George W. Bush more favorably than unfavorable. His favorables, President Bush, now stand at 49%. His unfavorables at 46%. Now, Obama at the same time is now upside down. He's got 47% approving, 49% disapproving. So this is phenomenal. But now, ladies and gentlemen, now President George Bush is more popular than President Barack Hussein Orwell. I mean, this is the day I think most people never thought would come. Now, you still have the loyal media out there. Oh, and let me tell you how bad the media is out there. This is Associated Press story from, this is even just hard to believe. It's hard to read with a straight face. But this Associated Press, again, they're trying to do everything they can to prop up Barack Obama. He's their precious one. Forget who put that. I just read that their precious one. That was Politico. So they describe Barack Obama as their precious one, the precious one. And the economy is in the tank with Barack Obama. 9 million people have left the labor force since President Obama was inaugurated. 9 million people have left the labor force since President Obama was inaugurated. There's no way you can put lipstick on that. And we find out last month, or in April, that the number of people who quit their jobs jumped 7.2% to 2.25 million. So an all-time record virtually percentage-wise of people quitting their jobs in April. Now, you and I would look at that and say, well, that's bad news. That's horrible news. People just dropping out because they have no prospect in their job. Their hours are getting cut back and just, forget about it. I'll just quit and we'll make it on what we've got coming in. And the AP actually spins this as a positive. This is amazing to me. This is the first line of this story. More Americans are quitting their jobs, suggesting many are growing more confident in the job market. I mean, I can't even put those two things together. I assume what they mean is, hey, they're quitting their jobs because they know that the economy is booming. It's growing like gangbusters. Man, I'm going to be awash in job offers. So I can quit the job I've got now because there are going to be so many jobs just kind of floating by. All I got to do is reach out and grab one. And it's like but I don't think that's it at all. You know, the first rule of wind walking or wing walking, first rule of wing walking, you're out there walking on the wing of an airplane. The first rule is don't let go of what you're hanging on to until you're hanging on to something else. So people quitting their jobs, to me, is not a sign of a healthy economy and growing confidence. Now, here's MSNBC Alex with clip number 3, Rob, if we can grab that. And she's still loyally out there on this NSA stuff, still loyally out there blaming all of this on President Bush. Let's listen.
David, you getting any frustration from inside the White House? Because the Obama administration didn't start this program. It started under President Bush. But now that it's been leaked, this White House has to answer all the questions. Well, and so, Perry, with regard to the frustration within the White House, which I imagine must be there, I mean, Lauren makes a good point. These were programs started underneath the Bush administration, but now it's the Obama administration that has to defend them publicly. So, Morris, these are programs that the president inherited from President Bush. So would he be getting this much heat from his own party?
Oh, man. So she tried every which way 3 times in that short segment. She blamed everything on Bush and tried to get her guests to chime in. Yeah, it's all Bush's fault. Well, Alex, the people aren't buying it. For the first time since Obama was inaugurated, Bush is more popular than Obama. The people are on to the precious one. Well, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Kathy in North Carolina. Kathy, welcome to Focal Point with Brian Fisher. What's on your mind?
Hey, Brian Fisher. I wonder, can you or can we connect the dots between the millions of metadata files or dossiers, if you will, being kept in storage to the nearly 2 billion hollow point bullets that the Homeland Security got in stockpile to or in storage, and also they have in line to purchase nearly 3,000 tanks. I mean, can we connect the dots or not? What do you think, Brian?
Well, how would you connect those? How would you connect those dots?
Well, I don't think they want 3,000 tanks.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Against a terrorist here and there.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, Kathy's exactly right. They have purchased 2,717 light armored tanks. They've ordered up 1.6 billion rounds of hollow point. By the way, here's another reason that you're having difficulty getting ammo. Got a story yesterday. We have sent $1 billion worth of ammunition to the Afghanis, to the Afghan army and to Afghan police officers. And you know what they're doing with that ammo? They're shooting our own people. They're shooting our soldiers, and they're shooting us, the people that have trained their police officers. They're taking our ammo, the $1 billion of ammo we sent to them, putting it in the guns that we gave them and we taught them how to use, and shooting our own folks with it. So I don't know, Kathy. I mean, I don't know if you, to connect the dots directly, I don't know how we do that, but I'm looking at a story right here. Representative Jeff Duncan sent a tweet out yesterday that he was at a DHS facility, Department of Homeland Security. This is the one with 1.6 billion rounds of hollow point ammunition. This is the one with the 2,717 light armored tanks. And he saw IRS agents at this DHS facility. This is Representative Jeff Duncan from South Carolina touring a DHS facility. And he saw IRS agents out there training with AR-15's.
Yes, that's in line with the information that I have, Brian. Other agencies, including the IRS, EPA, and so the Social Security Administration is also purchasing huge amounts of ammunition and such.
Well, and you know, Kathy, and I appreciate your call, and thank you for that. You know, and we're used to the situation the way it ought to be. Let's say that the IRS, they discover some kind of tax evasion, not tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is when you pay the minimum amount of taxes that you're legally obligated to pay. Nothing wrong with tax avoidance. Somebody's a fool if they don't do it. The more taxes you avoid legally, the more you get to keep. So that's fine. That's good. That's what accountants ought to be out there doing. But tax evasion is when you avoid paying taxes that you have a legal obligation to pay. So if the IRS tumbles onto something like that, we understand that something's got to be done about that. But typically what would happen is they would refer that then to the FBI, and the FBI would investigate, and that would be referred to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General's office would prosecute. But this idea where you have IRS agents that are supposed to be reading 1040 forms, training with AR-15's, what is up with that? Focal Point AFR Talk.
Here's